Today's date is September the 29th, 2021, and this is breaking news coming out of Columbus, Ohio. The information I'm going to give you today came from the social media accounts of local reporter Lacey Crisp. If you're interested in following up with this story, I'd suggest that you follow her on social media for updates. The headline reads, according to sources, 2 Columbus narcotics officers were arrested after FBI raids. The way I'm going to cover this story is I would like to read to you the statement that was provided by the Department of Justice, and then I'm going to read to you the statement from the Columbus Division of Police Chief Elaine Bryant, and then I'm going to finish up with a little bit of some thoughts of my own. Columbus, Ohio, federal agents arrested 2 officers with the Columbus Division of Police's drug cartel unit. Marco R. Marino, age 44, of Columbus, and John J. Kuchkowski, 33, of Marengo, Ohio, were allegedly involved in the distribution of approximately 7.5 kilograms of fentanyl. Marino also allegedly accepted bribes to protect the transportation of cocaine. According to an affidavit filed in support of the criminal complaint, Marino allegedly tried to recruit a confidential informant to traffic drugs with him. Marino allegedly promised law enforcement protection to the individual and said he would intervene if other law enforcement agencies attempted to investigate the confidential informant. Court documents detail that Marino intended to gain citizenship in Mexico as part of a plan to launder their drug proceedings. Marino allegedly planned to buy properties in Mexico to run as Airbnb properties and travel to Mexico in July. Specifically, it is alleged that in March, April, May, August, and September, Marino accepted a total of $44,000 in cash in exchange for protecting the safe transport of at least 27 grams of cocaine. Unbeknownst to Marino, there was no actual cocaine, and each of the transactions was controlled by federal law enforcement. During the transports of purported cocaine, it is alleged that Kuchkowski made himself available by radio to make any calls that Marino might need, including to other law enforcement officials, to protect the safe transportation of cocaine. According to an affidavit, cell phone data places Kuchkowski near Marino during the transportations. In June and August 2021, Marino allegedly distributed approximately 7.5 kilograms of fentanyl that Kuchkowski provided to him. It is alleged that Marino would make between $60,000 and $80,000 on the sale of fentanyl. Possessing with intent to distribute 400 grams or more of fentanyl is a federal crime punishable by 10 years up to life in prison. Federal program bribery is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Here's the statement from Columbus Division of Police Chief Elaine Bryant. These allegations are beyond disturbing. If proven, such accusations would violate the oath the officers take, the standards we must uphold ourselves to, and the trust of the public. These officers have been relieved of duty pending the outcome of their criminal cases. We have and will continue to work cooperatively with federal authorities. Because this is an ongoing investigation, I cannot comment further on these cases. This alleged conduct does not reflect the values of the division or the excellent work being done by its employees. I will say it again. When my officers do what is right, I will always have their back. When they don't, they will be held accountable. So the allegation that's being made against these officers, these guys both worked in their narcotics division, specifically on the cartel side of narcotics. Their job was to monitor and infiltrate local cartel operations and try to put an end to what they were doing. The allegation is that rather than stopping the cartel operation, they agreed to participate by personally distributing drugs and fentanyl and accepting cash during those transactions. One of the toughest things about being a police officer is that you're a human being. All human beings are fallible, and all human beings give in to temptation. But as a police officer, you're being held to a level higher than what a normal citizen would be. Not only are you held to a higher standard, but the temptation is more readily available. As a police officer, you're put into more situations that you could potentially do the wrong thing than the average citizen going throughout their day. Let's put it that way. And because of that, we can't be like everybody else who just makes mistakes. When a police officer makes a mistake, it has dramatic consequences. I know both of these guys personally. I've met their wives and I've met their children. These guys made very poor decisions. They're going to be held accountable. And it's really sad that their families are going to have to pay for it as well. That's probably the part of this that bothers me more than anything. Last night, when news of this broke, it was actually before the news broke, but the information started to get around. When you're a police officer and you're in those circles, information spreads like wildfire. We know what's going on before you know as an average citizen. And a lot of the news media knows about it, but they can't report on it until they have something that's verifiable. So I had a lot of people texting me last night asking me what's going on. And I had a couple of people send me messages to the effect of, this is just another black eye on law enforcement, or there's a couple of fools making a decision that's making us all look bad. I don't necessarily subscribe to that belief. Personally, I think that's a little bit selfish. I'm not dogging the people who make those comments, but I expect to be held accountable for my actions. I expect them to be held accountable for theirs. If you're the type of person who's going to look at the actions of two officers on a police force of a hair under 2,000, or it's a hair under 800 or 1,800 now, if you're going to look at their actions and you're going to expect, and you're going to try to hold me accountable for what they're doing, that's your problem. That's not my problem. You're the one that's making that mistake. You're the one who is being ignorant and attributing things to me that I don't deserve. That's no different than me looking at, say, the homicide rate and realizing that a certain proportion of those homicide victims and suspects all belong to a certain race. And then I'm going to go out and treat people of that race differently. I'm not going to look at people of a certain race or ethnic group or members of a particular community any differently just because some people in their community have made some mistakes or done the wrong thing. It's not right when people do that to police officers. Since I don't follow that belief, I would expect that people would not do that to me in return. And that's just not the take I have on things. So it's a sad day in Central Ohio to see two guys who have sabotage themselves to such an extent. They're going to answer for what they've done. And that's the way it should be. Those are my thoughts for today. I'll talk to you soon.